The Food Fighter.
Hello again from me, the Food Fighter. Sorry I've been away for the last few weeks. I've been on holiday and just had to get stuff sorted in general. Anyway, on to this week's one. I've got a bit of a sweet, clean, sweet special. I'm going to basically start with some cookies, and then I've got a very interesting take on, yeah, you've heard, sugar puffs at the end. So anyways, we're going to start with the cookies and we'll go from there. In terms of ingredients, there's going to be two phases. The first one is going to be the dry phase. Alright, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients. The first one, the big one, being gluten-free oats. So that's quite simple. And then you've got your next one, which is your gluten-free oat flour. You can use a free from gluten flour if you want. That's what I tend to use. It's a bit hard to access if you're going to get it from a normal supermarket or whatever. Right, your next one is you're going to be using half a teaspoon of baking powder. You're going to use half a teaspoon of baking soda, and then also as well, you've got a quarter teaspoon of salt. Try and get either sea salt or just like a regular salt. Don't be really using table salt. So anyway, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix them all together in with all the ingredients. So there goes your flour, there go your oats. Got your baking powder, baking soda, and then you've got your salt. And time to mix them. All the dry ingredients now should look like that. Now, next bit, we need to move to our wet ingredients. So, to move on, the first thing we need is some coconut oil, right? Okay, best using a quarter cup of these. Yeah, so that's that. Maple syrup, we're going to use a couple of teaspoons of that. Sorry, tablespoons, sorry, not teaspoons, otherwise it wouldn't be as sweet as what you want it. Vanilla extract, we're going to use literally just one of them. Right, we're going to use coconut sugar. So we're going to be using same as that. So it's like a quarter of a cup. Works out about what? 60 ml. Something like that. Now, the last one that we do need, and I'm going to cheat here a bit because I couldn't get any in the shop, totally being honest, right, we're going to use eggs. Now, I'm going to use 2 here, but don't mean I'm not saying that's I'd always use, I wouldn't do that, right. If I was going to say you want to make a totally vegan, totally absolutely everything, I would make it with flax eggs. Now, that is just basically flaxseed powder, and you put 2 of them in there, tablespoons, sorry, and then you literally just put it to a few parts of water and you spin it around for a few minutes. It basically comes out a bit like that, but obviously it's not an egg. So anyway, we're going to put all these together and we go from there. So in the end of that, putting them all together, you should have something that looks a bit like that. It doesn't look brilliant at the moment, but don't worry, you will. So, just in case now, I've added the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. Just putting all that in. I'm just giving it a stir. Probably the best thing to do now, when you've got all this mixed in, is to put your oven on and put it to 180, the old 188. Anyway, we give this a stir and we go from here. At the end, you should have something like that. Now, it's up to you, right? You can put some vegan chocolate chips in here now, so you can kind of fold it all in before we put it in the oven. Or you can do like me and just drizzle them on, or drizzle some chocolate on at the end. Again, make sure you use your vegan, gluten-free, etc. Or if you just want to use normal ones, go ahead really, be my guest. Anyways, get yourself a baking tray and put some tin foil on it. You've got your mix, so all you're doing is you're just scooping your mix in here. I'm just being lazy with me quarter scoop. So just put them on, and all we're going to do is we're going to just put them onto little balls, and then you'll flatten them if you want. They will kind of separate when you get down, just see it as we go along, and you're just going to partition them into little portions. At the end of that, you should separate them all out and split them off into little balls and push them down, and they look like something like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put it in the oven. I'm going to leave it for about 10 minutes. You know they're done because you get a lovely smell in the kitchen. After about 15 minutes, make sure they're a bit like harder, to make sure all the dough is set properly. They should look something like that. It smells incredible in here. Right, so all you're doing is putting these on there like so, and like basically your cookies are done. So, if you've done your chocolate chips in here, you would have them in now. Another one as well I forgot to say before is you can put some like currants or some sort of fruit in there as well, so you can make them kind of fruity. But for me, I'm going to use my homemade patented chocolate. No recipe for this one, sorry. You're going to have to find this out yourself. So for me, I literally just take a little bit on here and maybe just drizzle it on a little bit. So I've basically got some little bit of chocolate on there. Looks a bit lazy, this, to be honest. Normally I'd try and like drizzle it backwards and forwards, but I just want to bloody eat them. They smell amazing. So yeah, so it's just a case of throwing a bit of chocolate on there. Again, that's like if you haven't really been bothered doing the chocolate chips. And that's basically it. That's it basically. There's your cookies. Hope you've enjoyed this week. Got a little bit of a bonus afterwards with sugar puffs, which I'm hoping you'll enjoy as well. And yeah, keep on cooking. On to the weird and wonderful now. Healthy sugar puffs. I've had loads of people already saying to me this week, how the hell am I going to do them? But I'll tell you what, like, it took me a whole weekend to be able to make these, but only literally takes 5 minutes to do. It's one of the very first things I ever done back in the day, and honest to God, they fit in like a nice little snack and they taste exactly the same, but they're healthy, so it's like a bit mind-boggling. But anyway, here we go. So, believe it or not, this is all you need. I've got 60 grams of sunflower seeds, I've got half a tablespoon of cinnamon, and I've also got some honey. Right, this is near enough going to be done in real time because it's so easy to do. So the first things first, get your pan, turn it on. What we're going to do is, we're not going to put any oil in it. You're going to turn it down a little bit. I'm going to get these. I'm going to just put them in. Make sure nothing in. And all we're going to do is, we're going to dry toast these. So, a couple of minutes of toasting them, you start going a bit brown. Don't want them absolutely completely burnt to death. You just want them a tiny bit brown. And then we go on to the next step. And what we do is we put cinnamon in. And then also as well as we are going to put 2 tablespoons of honey in along with it. Okay, so we're looking at 1 and 2. We didn't see it, we're just going to put them in. I'm going to mix all this together. We'll give it, while it's going, a stir and get it all completely covered, get it so it's nice and mixed. When you've got it all mixed, it should literally look something a bit like that, a bit gooey in that. I'll tell you now, because it's warmer now, it literally will be quite gooey, but once you get it out and you put it in the fridge, it will literally change. I've just had a quick test of that and oh my god, the taste is unreal. But anyways, all we're doing is, we're going to just, for me, I'm going to just put it in one of these. When you're finished, you should have something that literally looks like that. All the case stuff now is put it in the fridge and you are done. I swear to God, you will not be disappointed with this. Anyways, right, that's all it is. That's healthy sugar puffs. On that as well, as I said, it does count towards about 15 grams of protein in there as well, so it's really high protein. They taste amazing and they've got good natural fats and stuff. There's no sugar, no nothing. It's non-refined, sorry. So it's vegan, gluten and all that free. So For me, the Foo Fighter, Keep on Cooking, and anything else.